Okay, YouTube, I haven't put a video together for quite a while, but I've been working on upgrading my CNC plasma cutter. So this plasma cutter came with Flashcut software, which is good software, but my buddy Ken Ronyet's down at Ronyet's Fabricating acquired this plasma cutter, and then he turned it over to me. It was missing a couple key parts of the Flashcut hardware for the torch-height control. I wanted to buy it, contacted Flashcut, became a giant ordeal. They wanted too much money, like I was up to almost $7,000 for the box, software upgrade, maintenance package, and just about everything else. And that was just way out of my price range for something that is kind of a hobby at the moment. So I decided to go with this Acorn Centroid. Did a bunch of research, and it looks like, you know, their software, their board, their hardware is all designed to work together. And I'll be honest with you, so far it's gone really smooth. The software and hardware have worked well together. New to this, so this isn't a how-to video. This is just my experience. The setting up of their software has been pretty easy. It's connected to the hardware with no trouble. It's actually been pretty seamless, and the documentation has been great. Here, hold on. Somebody else wants to talk to you guys. Say hi to my new kitty. This is our new kitty. She just wandered in here half a year ago. If you guys remember, I had my other cat, Butterscotch. She was extremely friendly. She was my garage helper cat. Now, this one, my daughter named Zoe. The other cat, unfortunately, was like 12 or 13. She passed away. Great cat. And just for whatever the reason, this one comes wandering across the field this spring. And here we go again. We got another garage helper. And she's a really, really good cat. She's super friendly. Super duper friendly. Sometimes she's a pain, but she's very friendly. But anyhow, so here's what I got going on. That's a Centroid Acorn controller. My stepper servo drives, and probably better that I decided to go with this upgrade because I got rid of the open loop steppers that were on the original table. And thanks to a guy named Jason down in Texas who answered a question I had on, the kind of a Facebook CNC Plasma Builders forum. He private messaged me and was a big help, answered a lot of questions, and helped me pick out the motors and drives, and gave me some good advice for things to look for and avoid. So thanks, Jason. I appreciate that a lot. So what I got going on here, there's it's a 60-volt AC power supply, bought off eBay. I got two circuit breakers here, a 15 amp and a 6 amp. The 15 amp runs the power supply and provides the power to the stepper drivers, plus a couple other small plugs on the side I'm going to use for an exhaust fan and a water pump. And the little 6 amp breaker next to it powers that 24 volt power supply in the back. Two power supplies here. One of those power supplies runs these two relays. The other power supply runs this relay. This relay is who's turning on my 65 volt power supply for the motors. That power supply back there, I'll get you some light. That's what's running the Acorn up there. And there's another power supply. Let me take you around the other side here. There's another power supply over here. This is the torch-height control board. It has its own power supply. It's in its own dedicated box on the side, which is kind of recommended by Acorn to keep the noise down. And we got an e-stop, and that's going to be my torch touch-off proximity sensor. Yeah, Kitty, every time I move, she has to get right underneath me here. And a fan, on-off switch. There you go. There you go. Here's the closed loop stepper motors. All the cable. I got a few ends already wired. I'm gonna have to start getting this thing actually put onto the machine. So, like I say, this isn't a how-to video, but somebody can watch this video and probably critique it for me and say, hey, I'd have done this different or that different, and why, and if it makes sense, I'd probably change something here. So what I did was I just on these last two, I made that's my like 65 volt AC bus for running my stepper drivers. The yellow and black next to it, the yellow is 24 volt DC plus, black's 24 volt DC minus. Your common, so I made a little bus for those. Your ground, that's the Acorn relay board, comes with their unit. And then that's all the low voltage on the back. And then I try to keep all the 110 volt down here, so you can see you got your grounds, my two breakers. They're split up into two different little buses here. The red and the black is, you know, powering from the 15 amp breaker, and the other two from the 6 amp breaker that then breaks off into my power supplies. So, and the Acorn unit too, it talks from the two transmit to receive torch height control boards through this fiber optic cable that plugs in right there. They got really nice, definitely have some pretty nice hardware and software. So I'm going to be really interested to get it on the table and cutting to see how much different it cuts than what it did before. So, okay, there you go.